So today's video is slightly different. I have Darren here with me and...
Hi Chris.
Hello Darren.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me on this video.
It's alright.
So today we're going to be doing long haul flight tips. I wanted to do some more tips videos. We're thinking about doing, some Florida ones, maybe some Disney ones. I've got a Vegas wedding tips video coming up. So we thought we'd give our 2 cents on this.
Yeah.
Obviously we've both done quite a few long haul flights throughout the years, and in various different
locations and stuff.
Yeah, different locations. We've both travelled different classes.
Yeah.
So we have experience throughout everything from economy to first class. So we thought we'd share some tips, not necessarily experiences, but anything we think might help. So I've got some notes here. Feel free to jump in whenever you want, but I'll probably end up taking the lead. So firstly, I've got preparing as much as you can before you go. So obviously you're packing. Darren's very organised at packing.
Yeah, so I take, Sophie does the clothes side of things, and I do the toiletries and medication.
It's always best to be over prepared. And I think that there's going to be some slight sort of just general holiday tips in this as well that we find. But specifically for long haul flights, obviously packing what you're going to do for a carry-on. Just looking at your airline, seeing what you can take. And for me, I always try and take the maximum I can take.
But to be fair, depends where you're going in the world. Like if you're going to the Caribbean, then you'll probably want to take as much as you can. So you want to take more toiletries and as many clothes as you can. But if you're going to like the USA, where things are more structured,
some of the stuff obviously you can buy there.
Yeah, so sometimes we've learned that over the years not to overpack on the toiletries.
Yeah. We tend to, especially if we're going to Florida, we know not to take shampoo, conditioner. We can get it all there as long as it's a direct flight. We're not going to need it, shower gel, that sort of thing. We can get most of it there. So also before the flight, I like to research, any films that are going to be on the plane, TV shows, food. They usually all have that on the airline page. And then if you don't like the food, you can, prepare before you go at the airport. If you don't like the films or anything, then you can download things onto your phone, Netflix, Amazon Prime, even the BBC, ITV. I'm pretty sure a lot of those you can download programs onto your phone.
Yeah. But
music, podcasts.
But some airlines do have Wi-Fi now, so I think Virgin have got Wi-Fi. I think you have to pay £15-20 per device now, I think it is, for the whole flight. And then British Airways, some of their flights I think they've got Wi-Fi, I'm not too sure, but that was something they're going to bring out. TUI, they don't have Wi-Fi.
But even with Wi-Fi, we don't know how well it is to download things if you want to do shows and stuff. Obviously you could just browse the internet for 9 hours, but the best to be prepared before you go. I remember I was at the airport trying to download some shows and they failed and I couldn't get them downloaded, so I didn't have them for the flight. So just make sure that they do download and that they're playable. Just doing that a couple of days in advance, really.
Also check your Spotify and or your Amazon Music account or your iPhone music account, as just make sure they are downloaded onto your device, because I've made a mistake where they weren't downloaded and I couldn't listen to
just make sure apps are updated. If you've got games, that they're updated, and then you're not going to get there and be like, oh, it needs updating and I've got no way of doing it. So that is just sort of a media entertainment tip. Again, buying things to do on the plane. My mum used to buy about 5 magazines that she'd read either on the plane and then take them to our destination. I've always got a book. I mean, you never know if you're going to be delayed. Also, like if you've got a layover, you may want to take some extra things that aren't sort of electricity based, because you don't know if things are going to be charged. Obviously, a lot of long-haul flights, they do have chargers and things that you can use, but I always like to take something that I can do that's not relying on electricity, whether it be a crossword, colouring book. I've done it all in the past. So.
Yeah, but if you're going in the summertime, and if your flight is, you're on a plane and it's not moving anywhere, they're not going to turn the air conditioning on, so it's going to be quite hot. So you might want to take like a fan, like an easy access fan, because you might get too hot, especially in the summertime.
I think even just like, obviously on a plane, you can't control whether it's going to be hot and cold. A lot of the time it is cold, but if you're possibly unwell at all, worst comes to the worst, or just like in general, prepare for hot or cold conditions on the plane. Obviously, we've travelled to Florida a lot, where it's going to be hot when we get there, but on the plane I will still wear jogging bottoms, bring a hoodie, comfy cozy socks, because I know it'll be cold on the plane, and like having layers that I could take on and off.
Yeah, I wear normally shorts on a plane.
Darren's hot all the time, so
your comfortable shorts, socks and a t-shirt, and also I'll take a hoodie just in case, but we'll never need to use that, to be fair.
I just like to be comfortable on the plane. You know, you're sat down for 9 hours, no one cares what you look like on the plane. I always go in jogging bottoms and a relaxed top, and like I'll wear like a bralette and not care. I usually won't put much makeup on, just because that's going to dry out. So
yeah, I find that you feel more relaxed and when you really look comfortable.
Yeah.
More comfortable.
I mean, for some people it can be quite anxious and stressful, and I've definitely had extreme panic attacks before and anxiety surrounding travel, and for me, just being comfortable is key, and just as long as I can feel as best as I can in what I can control, then that is good for me. And again, I think that relates back to a lot of things. So having things to do, keeping your mind occupied, especially if you are a nervous traveller and you're thinking, how am I going to do a long haul flight? Definitely keeping yourself occupied, feeling as comfortable as you can. For me, I used to have a big thing about eating on the plane. I wouldn't eat the food. That was more from an anxiety point of view, rather than maybe not liking the food. But you might not like the food, and again, just prepare, see what meals are on the plane. If you need to order, vegetarian options, if you've got an allergy, obviously letting them know ahead of time. But I would also buy snacks and food at the airport before we go, whether it just be a couple snacks you can take on the plane. A lot of planes now for long haul flights are pretty good at giving out snacks and like little treats, but if there's something specific you might want, to take that with you. And if you want to eat a meal before you go, whether it be breakfast or lunch, whatever you want, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is. If you want a McDonald's, you go for it. Because I know that I wouldn't be eating for 9 hours on the plane. Luckily I'm a lot better now, but so I would try and eat before I went.
Normally we go to a lounge at the airport, because it's quite a relaxing
if you
vibe.
can, try and find a lounge. Sometimes you don't even need to be in the right class with your airline. You can get them through your credit cards, or if you've got just general lounge passes at the hotel, at the airport. Sometimes you can just buy them, especially if you know you're going to be there early and you're going to have a long flight. It's nice. Or if you've got a layover.
Yeah, I think they're normally about £20, £15, somewhere around that range to access the lounge. Yeah, so it's not that expensive. And
there's usually food, drinks. Usually that's free.
Yeah. We tend to.
It's quiet.
When we do travel it's a lot better, because me and Sophie then can go off and and do our little shop.
You can like leave your baggage at the lounge, not have to worry about it. You can go and just like have a look around the shops and not have to lug your bags around. It feels a lot more relaxing and more enjoyable experience. Obviously that's not something everyone can do. We've definitely done it before where we'd rather sit in the terminal than the lounge.
To be fair, of my experience,
on the whole, lounges are great.
Lounges are great, but from my experience, I used to go, into a restaurant, just get a meal, and just take it easy and slowly, and just relax in there for a bit. Yeah, I think
getting there early as well. I mean, this is just general for any flight, but if you can get there early, obviously you're going to be sat down for most of the flight. They encourage you obviously to walk around, but if you can just walk around the airport.
So go and have your meal first, take it slowly, and then walk around the shops. And
especially if you're going to like Gatwick or Heathrow, they have an abundance of great shops and restaurants and lounges, so you won't be stuck for anything to do there. So those are those tips. What else? As far as actually like on the plane tips, obviously they say to walk around, keeping hydrated. I tend to try and stay away as much as I can from fizzy drinks, just because you never know how your stomach's going to react up there. No one wants to be gassy on a flight, so I tend to stick usually to juices and water as much as I can. I never really have alcohol either on the plane. Obviously if that relaxes you, go ahead. But again, I just tend
to have a few whiskies on the plane, or
I think it's that anticipation of the holiday starting, isn't it?
Yeah. So most people want to get to the airport. Once you're at the airport, the holidays start. So let's go to get a drink.
Don't get bladdered before you get on the flight though, because you will not enjoy that, and you could possibly get kicked off your plane.
But no, you want to be relaxed and enjoy your holiday.
There's definitely two sides to drinking on the plane. There is that it helps you relax, whereas for me, I always was a bit anxious as to it. Also because like I would take medication for my anxiety back in the day, and I was like, I don't want to drink and then it interfere with my medication. So it's definitely a personal thing. If you've got no troubles with flying, have a drink. It's great.
Yeah.
Especially if they're offering them free.
Yeah, I think they'd have a good selection of drinks on there, so I quite enjoy having one or two. For me, when I fly, I'm a bit of a plane geek. I get quite excited when I'm at the airport. I like looking at the planes, and I just like the whole experience, So
a couple more tips. Obviously these are pretty common self-explanatory ones. I put pack a mini pharmacy. We come super prepared with everything from paracetamol, diarrhea tablets, wind tablets, back pain, if you need heat patches, plasters, like we have it covered, moisturizer.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be up in a plane and something happens.
Yeah, you have to watch out your liquids though.
Yeah, obviously if any of it's liquid, putting it in with liquids if you've got like Gaviscon, but
and also your prescriptions, make sure if you've got a prescription, make sure they've got the doctors. Yeah,
making sure you keep anything like prescription in their packaging. Even sometimes just check the country you're going to. Usually if it's like the States, Canada, I think it's probably fine. But if you're going to, smaller countries, more not
Asian.
Yeah, more like, and also like less first world countries, there's definitely different regulations about different drugs and stuff, so just researching up before you go.
Yeah, because I've heard, I think it was like Dubai or something, and a drug, well not a drug, but well it is a drug in a way.
But like a prescribed
medication. Someone took it to Dubai and they were not allowed to, even though it's prescription, they were not allowed to, and they could have went to jail, but they got a massive fine instead. So
just doing your research.
Yeah.
Can you go without it? Can you ask your doctor for something alternative? Yeah. So packing a pharmacy is always good. And again, at the airport, you can get everything and anything if you do forget something, or if you're starting to feel a bit uneasy. I've also got things like sleep if you can. I know it's definitely not very easy to sleep, but try and, bring earplugs, an eye mask, headphones, definitely remember headphones, a neck pillow, anything that's going to make it more comfortable. If you've got like a blanket you want to bring.
Yeah.
I like to bring like a big scarf or something, and then you can sort of use that as a blanket or a pillow.
Yeah. Also,
I always like a hoodie that's got a hood on it. So that.
Packing your luggage you're taking on the flight with you.
And having like things that you're going to have for the actual flight, like at easy access.
Yeah.
So when you're getting on the plane, you don't have to fumble. You're not getting in people's way. You can just sit down and relax.
Yeah, I think you want to take a swimming costume with you as well.
Yeah, anything that you would want to, in like the first few days there, if your luggage was to go missing, what you'd want specifically, any electronics, a spare change of clothes, swimming costumes. Obviously it's location dependent where you go, but anything that you wouldn't be able to sort of repurchase or has sentimental value, put in your hand luggage.
Yeah, I think when you go to the States it's quite easy, but to get things replaced. But
especially if you're going to like the same speaking country.
Yeah.
But if you're going to a foreign country, it can be slightly difficult.
I think like Cuba would be quite difficult. I've been to Cuba and it's very different. And if you lose your bag and you haven't got anything, then it's going to be quite difficult to
sometimes
replace it.
It can be days, weeks before they get you your luggage. So,
Yeah, but just bear in mind that
I always like to do direct flights when you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes layovers can be cheaper, but it can be more of a hassle.
Yeah, but just bear in mind, if you are going to like Cuba or a Caribbean, well, it'll be hard to replace some of your clothes because they might just give you money to replace your clothes. Make sure you take, probably about 2-3 days worth of clothes, maybe.
Yeah, especially like if you find it awkward to buy certain clothes. Like I'm always way too short for jeans. They're always too tall for me.
Or if you're like a bigger person and find it difficult. Yeah. But no, most definitely take 2 to 3 days worth, and then at least you have something you can wash.
Yeah, I always like as well if you can. Again, it's location dependent, but if you're going to a hot country and you are wearing sort of jogging pants on the flight, taking a pair of shorts with you, packing them on top of your suitcase, so when you get the other end you can change into them, so you're not like sweltering on the journey to your hotel.
Just before you land.
Or even like when you get your baggage from baggage claim and just changing in a toilet at the airport.
Yeah, but no, that is a good point to do. I think especially.
Or like if you're going to a colder country, taking an extra jumper or something.
Because the Caribbean countries like Mexico, sometimes the air conditioning won't work in the airport.
But also some places you get out and you have to like walk on the like they don't have a what's it called, like a tunnel.
Yeah.
You have to actually walk out the steps and you're outside. So.
Like Florida, when you go to the rental car.
But also like when you get off the plane.
Yeah.
And some destinations they don't have the the things that connect to the plane. You have to actually walk down
the tunnel.
Yeah.
Also, regards to your seats in economy class.
Or really any class. I'd say.
But try and book your seats like further in advance.
Yeah.
I've heard people like moaning about, we have to pay for our seats to sit to each other. Well.
I'd much rather pay that extra to be sat next to someone. It's company, who you're sat next to, especially for a long flight. You don't want to have the risk of sitting next to someone that you don't like. And it's that company, you can talk to them. And
normally first class and business class you don't have to pay any extra. Premium economy you don't have to pay any extra to pick your seat.
It depends what airline. But
yeah, but no, economy you have to pay a bit extra. Also regarding different standard of seating in economy, if you're like quite a tall person, you've got long legs, and you think you're going on a long haul flight and you think you can't, you can't take that long flight with that kind of seating, then there are different options. On Virgin, I think you can pay like an extra £30 each way to have like a couple more inches, which are quite good. You can,
but also like you can, depending on where you sit, you can sit like at the divisions of the plane where there's a bit more room. There's not really anyone in front of you.
Yeah, so there's an exit and a bulkhead seating.
Yeah.
They cost around about £50, but on Virgin and I think British Airways, you can pay like for an extra 3 inches, which is still economy class, but you still got that extra room. If you got a bit extra money, then go up to premium, and you got lots of leg room then, and bigger seats, a lot more space. Your bags you come off quicker as well, a better service.
Sometimes they do.
We've never had any problems, to be fair. On premium, we quite like premium, but if we can go business class or first class, we tend to try and go there if we can, business class. But if you go first class, then you're lucky, really, because I think I've never flown something so on first class. I thought I wasn't on the plane. No, just do your research on the plane before you go, and you want to see how long the seats are. You want to check to see if you'll be comfortable with that if you're a tall person. You might want to look at other seating options. That's the best you can do, but it all varies on airline to airline. Different seating plans, but I would say if you was going like TUI, I'd definitely go premium with them because they're really good. Thomas Cook are really good on premium economy as well from experience. I don't think I've been BA premium economy. Well, we are going soon, really, but just prepare.
Yeah, prepare, organise. I think that's really the best tip that we can give you, is to look up your airline and have good preparation. And I think that's probably all our tips.
Your custom papers, I'd say get them over and done with before you start eating. So the first hour or so.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't give them to you until like an hour before you land. So just get them done on the plane before you land. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
But a lot of time they give them at check-in as well.
Yeah. Sometimes like if you've got needing something to do at the airport before you even get on the plane, you can fill that out.
Yeah. So it's just be prepared and not get
How many times can we say
flustered.
Be prepared?
Don't get flustered. You don't want to get flustered. You want to be there, be relaxed. You want to know where you need to go. So, are you meeting a rep on your holiday, or do you need to go to a certain place to get your hire car? Do you need to go and get
you don't want to be worrying on the plane about getting off the plane and what's going to happen next. So.
No, so you just need to look it up and be as relaxed as you can, and but that's it from me, really.
Okay. So I think hopefully we've covered all what we've had to say. If you've got any other tips, leave them down below so we can have a little comment section, and hopefully this has helped some of you. So yeah, hopefully we'll be doing more travel vlog videos this year and more like travel packing and tips videos. So if you've got any other tips videos you want to see, leave a comment down below, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!